I chose to write Power Up after the Me Too movement had kicked off and at the same time as gender pay gap was starting to be reported. And it brought into sharp focus for me as a senior female leader the lack of equity and the challenges that women are facing in all aspects of their lives. And at that time I had 2 daughters who were about to become teenagers. And what I realised with a lot of the senior women who I was working with is they were saying, if only I'd had access to this guidance and this information and these tools and these techniques earlier on in my career, if only I'd had access to this earlier, then I would have been much more successful and much more confident and comfortable than I am now. So all of those factors combined is what inspired me to write Power Up and provide women with the tools in which to power up and be successful. But what I realised in the research that I conducted into what power is that there's a whole continuum. So I've created this continuum of power from soft power all the way through to hard power. And soft power are the kinds of skills that women tend to be really good at. So influencing, emotional intelligence, rapport building. It can be perceived as a softer, more gentle power, but truly powerful in the workplace. So then you've got the harder forms of power, so directiveness, vision, assertiveness, strength, that harder form of power which tends to be more associated with men, that men tend to feel more comfortable tapping into because of their conditioning through life. So what I'm really interested in and passionate about is helping people to appreciate that they have access to that entire continuum themselves, whoever they are, whatever their gender is, and that what is tremendously powerful is when anyone taps into the emotional intelligence and what can be perceived as the softer power and leads from that place. Because that's the thing that creates engagement. That's the thing that brings a truly authentic way of communicating. It's really powerful when people tap into that kind of power, but also massively powerful when people of all genders, but particularly women, learn how to tap into those stronger forms of power and learn how to communicate assertively and make sure they get their voice heard and truly tap into that passion and that fire that is absolutely there, but is sometimes just squashed and subsumed through the conditioning that they've experienced.